Hello there, Mad Mike here, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to be breaking down the new trailer that has come out from Disney Animation for the new film that is going to be premiering in March of 2021, at least currently, is Raya and the Last Dragon. Now this is a film that I covered a little bit before because they actually replaced the former lead actress, which I believe was Sherry Steele, I think was the name of the woman who was originally supposed to be acting in that part, and she was replaced actually by Kelly Marie Tran, who most people would know as Rose Tico from the newer Star Wars films. So going into the trailer, again, there's been a lot of juggling with this. This movie was actually, I believe, supposed to come out at some point this fall. I think its original release date may have been November or maybe even this month. But moving forward from that, it's a normal trailer. It's 2 minutes. Fair warning, it does not commit the cardinal sin of trailers. It actually is very, very vague. It's actually almost too vague. But well, let's start off at the beginning. So, at the beginning, we follow the main character, who is Raya, and basically she is. This is a flat. Most of the trailer actually takes place in this little flashback sequence. So we don't really realize it's a flashback sequence until a little bit later in the trailer, but essentially she dresses up in this ninja outfit, and she has these eskrima sticks, basically. And people who don't know, that is basically like these two little fighting sticks that are probably, each one of them is probably about 18 inches long, maybe, and look like bamboo or something like that. And she's infiltrating this sort of area. She has there's all these booby traps and stuff in this hallway that look like nets. And basically she has this little kind of armadillo-looking thing, and in the beginning of the trailer, when she first has it, when she's young, it's about the size of a softball. Later on, it's about the size of a grizzly bear. And she takes the thing out and taps on its shell, and it opens up the little face. And there's your cute factor for the film, because they always have to have a cute factor in this, whether it's the Olaf snowman, or the little kid and the dog from Up, or whatever. There always has to be some kind of like a cute little companion character. And basically, that's what this thing is, even though later on it's much, much larger. And that the little armadillo bear thing kind of squeaks its way under the nets and helps her and triggers all the traps so that she can go through very easily. And then she comes face to face with this. This appears to be some kind of test. Because she comes face to face with this masked figure that she then has to fight, and it appears that he's guarding something. He's standing in front of something. And while all this is starting to happen, we also get this voiceover from Kelly Marie Tran as Raya, and she basically describes kind of what her journey in life is, that she's supposed to be protecting these dragon gems, and now everything's kind of gotten messed up, and all the people in this particular world, which I believe this takes place in its own individual world. This isn't like a microcosm of Earth or something like that. This is its own universe. And basically, there's 4 different tribes, and they show them very quickly, along with their leaders. And basically, these tribes make up this world, and now they're kind of either warring or just separated and don't trust one another, something along those lines. There's tension. And she's supposed to be out to try and find the last dragon. So we at least know what her motivation is, even though we don't necessarily know why. Now, that may have been released in like plot synopsis things or something like that, but going back to the actual trailer, because I just wanted to give you that little bit, because that's basically what the voiceover covers throughout the entire trailer. As she's fighting this person, it's clear that it's some kind of a test. She has to stand on these stones, basically, and she can't touch the water for whatever reason. And again, that's why I'm assuming it's some kind of a test, and she's not actually trying to do something legitimate. And the person she's fighting does not have eskrima sticks. They appear to have an actual sword, which she then is carrying, I believe, later on in the trailer, in the following scene. Now, after we get through this whole montage of her fighting this guy, and they don't actually show you how that ends, which again is a good thing. we go into what looks like the desert, and she's on her little, armadillo bear thing, which is she calls Tuk Tuk, and basically he is like rolling through the desert. She must be on some kind of like a harness or a saddle or something that allows her to sit on top of him while he can still rotate the way that he does, or maybe she's inside the cocoon or something like that. But it shows her riding by what looks like some kind. She's in this vast desert, and she rides by what looks like these mummified people. These people that are just kind of standing in place, and not really sure if they're statues or maybe they're just petrified people. People that have been out there and just died and dried out or something. But it's not very. The trailer is not very bright in terms of its colors. It has a very relatively dark color palette for the most part. And again, that might also have to do with the fact that a lot of these scenes take place at night. But the end of the trailer, we basically get to see that she's older now. She's now in a different costume, and she has this like covering on her face, which she pulls away, and you get to see her adult face instead of her child face, which you see in the earlier parts of the trailer. There's a little bit of humor mixed in there, which again makes sense for something that's coming out of Disney Animation. As for Kelly Marie Tran's voice acting, I think it's fine. I don't think as far as the trailer goes anyway, I think it's fine. I think her voiceover is good. I don't really have any problems with that. I think Kelly Marie Tran is probably a fairly decent actress. The problem is that a lot of the time she does not get the material that is very good. So now we move into the post stuff. Now, this trailer basically ends with her saying that she needs to go find the last dragon. But here's the thing: is that everything that we see in the trailer, none of it really wowed me. None of it. And again, I'm not saying you need to put a bunch of really flashy scenes in the trailer because that kind of defeats the purpose of going to see the movie. We've seen that happen a bunch of times. But I think the trailer is a bit maybe more vague than it needs to be. I think maybe giving some background on some side characters instead of just focusing on Raya herself might be a good idea. Maybe give us a little bit more information about the world other than the fact apparently there's 4 tribes and apparently they don't like each other for whatever reason. Maybe some context on the dragon gems, like what they do for this world, how those work, why they need to be protected. Because right now all this trailer really does is raise questions. Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing because this is the first trailer for this film. We're still going to have at least 2 more that are going to come out for it, in addition to a bunch of extra footage and stuff that's probably going to go into TV ads and other things like that. But for a first trailer, this didn't really hook me all that much. It kind of looks like, it doesn't look like something that stands out to me. It doesn't look like something that, like, wow, this is something that people are going to want to see. This kind of looks like something that's like, okay, I feel like you may be copying the Japanese aesthetic a little bit. Now, initially, when I saw some of the art for this, I actually thought of it a little bit like Lilo and Stitch. Now, I don't remember exactly if I was told that this is done by the same animation group that did that. But if it is, that might be kind of a welcome thing. I thought that movie was animated fairly well, and I thought that the character designs were fairly well. So we'll see how that works itself out. But as for that, there's really not much else to the trailer. It's very bland, and it follows really that. There's no like little snippet pieces really. That's the problem. Is that there's a few of them. But there's not as many as you would attribute with a normal trailer. Most of it is taken up by the scene where she's trying to break into the room and then followed by the fight with the masked guy. So we really don't get a lot more outside of that. And all of that sequence is a flashback. So that also raises another question of how much of this movie is going to be split between these 2 time periods, or are we going to follow her chronologically? So are we going to start off when she's young like that? And then we'll graduate to when she's older later. Maybe there'll be a time skip midway through the film, or something like that. So that this trailer has raised a lot of questions. Let's put it that way. This is a trailer that makes you ask a lot of questions about the film, but it does not give you a whole lot of answers. It gives you some information to go off of, but again, not a whole lot of answers. But that's just kind of my interpretation of this trailer. But I want to really know what you think. As usual, I'm going to link the trailer below in the comment in the description if any of you guys want to watch it. But I want to know what you think. Have you been following this movie at all? With the change in the lead actress and all that, and the production and everything like that. This has actually been in production for a while. Have you been following that? Do you like the idea of the film, the premise of the film? Are you curious about it? Have you seen the trailer? Do you like the trailer? Do you not like the trailer? As usual, comment below. I like to know what you're thinking. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit the like button. Subscribe, and remember, I live my life free of compromise. Do you?